What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. So let's go ahead and get straight to the point when it comes down to talking about the top 3 stocks that I see value in this week. Again, these are my top 3 picks, and no way are these any suggestions or actual trades that you should trade yourself. We have 3 rules within our Technical Solutions community. The first rule is you should never invest based on other people's opinion. You should never invest based on what you don't understand, and you should always have a form of risk management. If you don't follow those 3 rules and you're trying to find you're trying to find a community that tells you where to buy, where to sell, and where to cut your losses, then we are not your community. We are a total number of over 75,000 people or investors all across the world, and if you would like to be a part of our community, it says free group down below. We would love to surround ourselves with you and all the other like-minded individuals. But if you're someone that wants to be spoon-fed and wants to be told what to do, then this is definitely not the group for you. So let's go ahead and get straight to the point. I'm going to be saying what's up to everyone that's joining us live. Let's actually move myself over to this part right here. Boom. I'm going to move this live chat right there so you guys can see one another. What's going on, Jake? How are you guys all doing? I'm going to move myself a little bit over. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right. So now you guys can see me and you can see your live chat. Boom, boom, boom. What's going on? So what's up, Jose? What's up, Jake? How you doing? Spoon-fed equals nil. Yes, I agree on that as well. What's going on, Kevin? What's going on, Hari? What's going on, Freedom Show? What's going on, Haro, Mark, One Shot? What's going on? Bada bing, bada boom. I like that. All right, so thank you guys again so much for tuning in live. If you guys have not clicked that like button, just because you guys are a part of the notification squad or part of Technical Solutions, giving the video a thumbs up really gives me an understanding that you guys like this content. So let's go ahead and do that if you guys have not already, and let's get straight to it. So I'm going to start talking about this. Let me make myself a little bit smaller so you guys can focus on what's important, and that's the actual charting itself. I'm going to be, way over here, and then let's go ahead and talk about these top 3 picks. So what is it that I look for my swing trades? So 3 things that I look for my swing trades. I first try to identify a pattern, either a horizontal pattern or an ascending uptrend pattern. I've talked about those specific patterns in yesterday's video that I made with my friend Chloe, and I was explaining to her how to take advantage step by step for swing trades or on swing trades. The second thing that I look for is I try to identify once I identify the pattern, I try to identify the low points, the high points, so I can set up and formulate a very structured plan. And why is that important? Well, I want to make sure that whatever it is that I invest in, that the potential for profit outweighs the potential for loss. And for someone that's new to trading or investing, why is that important? Well, when you invest in the stock market, I don't know if you guys knew this, but you don't always make money. Sometimes you do take losses. And I mean that as a joke because some people, believe it or not, think that right away as they invest in the stock market, that the only thing that's going to happen is go up, and that's definitely not the case. 95% of people, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if that statistic is still correct, but 95% of the people that invest in the stock market lose money. So what is it that 5% of us are doing to make money? And I think that goes into step 3. We formulate a plan. There's a form of risk management that we take upon us to make sure that, hey, if this stock offers a 10% potential for profit, I like that, and it offers a 2% potential for loss, the risk/reward is worth it for me, because if I focus on that 10-to-2 ratio or that 5-to-1 ratio, I can take 2 red days, 3 red days, and only take 1 green day. But because I focus on good quality picks with good golden ratios, is what we call them in our private group, then even if I take 3 red days, I only need to take 1 green day, and I still end the overall week on a green note because of the form and the way that I manage my risk. And that's it. So with those 3 steps, I like to focus on stocks that either have a horizontal pattern similar to QRVO. And this is actually, I'm going to do this in order though. So let's go ahead and talk about DRN. DRN was one of our callouts last week, especially for those that are part of the Learn Plan Profit mentorship group. What is something that we waited for or that we talked about that we need to wait for? Confirmation. So what does that mean? If you go on this 1-year analysis, you could see that the low points of DRN have been 1925. Does that mean 100% DRN will not go below 1925? it never means that. Psychological supports or places where they normally bounce at are places just that where they normally bounce at. And it doesn't mean 100% of the time that they are going to bounce there. And that is why it's so important to wait for the confirmation and to actually validate the support so it bounces off the support and starts to point up. Again, it's not about buying at the very bottom. It's about having an understanding that whatever it is that you're investing in, that you confirm the pattern and that you're investing in something that's showing signs of an uptrend. So what is my plan for DRN? And in no way should this influence you in any way. My plan for DRN is looking at the 180-day chart pattern. I know that there's a support here at $20. I've already taken a small position on DRN and it's sub 20. One of the things that I'm going to do before I add more to my position, I added a little bit of, I took a small position because I wanted to get some skin in the game. I identified the pattern and I knew that the potential for profit was much greater than the potential for loss. It outweighed the risk and it was something that I saw value in, and I took it because I understood the risk. And make sure that whatever position you take with whatever stock makes sense and that you understand the risk. So I'm going to wait for it until it breaks above 2050. I'm going to revisit DRN. It's already showing signs of consolidation. Do you see this thing consolidating at $20? This EMA line, what direction is this thing pointing at? Is it still pointing down? Kind of, but it's almost starting to flatline. Do you see this? Kind of like what it did when it started to reverse here, or kind of like what it did when it started to reverse here. It consolidates right at the support and then breaks above the EMA line. That's this nice little blue line that you see right here. I have my moving average exponential, which is the EMA line, at a length of 15. Therefore, that is a custom one that I have set up. If you want to learn more about my Thinkorswim setup, I have videos on that. I have over 600 videos on YouTube. And I waited for the break above the EMA line, and then that's when I get the confirmation that, hey, look, it validated the support, it's trending up. I'm investing in something that is showing signs of an uptrend pattern. And I'm going to do just that. I have some skin in the game right now. And when do I plan to add more? Anywhere from $20.50 to $21. What is my average? My average price will be anywhere from around $20, $21 because I bought sub 20. And I plan to sell at around $23 based on a previous resistance here, based on a previous resistance here, here. Although it does have an overall resistance at $24, it doesn't hit 24 every single time, just like it did not hit it last time. So my potential for profit, I'm super pumped, as you guys can tell by my voice, but I'm super pumped. And with my entry and my exit, it offers a total of 13.77% potential for profit. So if I go in with a total amount of $10,000, my potential for return is about $1,300, almost $1,400. That's a risk worth taking. What's my potential for loss? Well, if I really want to cut losses, I have a smaller position right now, and I can follow with a larger stop loss because my dollar value at risk is much less. If you guys don't know what I mean by that, in our private group, in the Learn Plan Profit course, I explain exactly what it is that means. So that is my breakdown on DRN, why it is that I see value, what is it that I'm waiting for, my entry, exit, stop loss, and that's what, you know, has led to my success when it comes down to my trades. Also, RSI indicator, as you can see right here, indicated that it was oversold. It's starting to pick back up, so it's starting to, you know, show signs of a reversal. MACD indicator is starting to do the same thing. Do you see that this, you know, the squares are getting a little bit, or the bars are getting a little bit smaller, and it signaled today, if you can see this little green bar right here, a buy signal. Again, it's never 100% certain to rely solely on one indicator, but it gives you a pretty decent understanding that when a bunch of different indicators are telling you, hey, it's consolidating, right below the support at $20. Hey, the RSI is indicating that it's oversold. Hey, the MACD is showing signs of a potential reversal and a buy signal. Now we just need the volume and the demand to show us that confirmation. And that is my breakdown on DRN. Now let's go ahead and go into QRVO. So QRVO with a support, just like we called out last week, or maybe a week and a half ago, at $68. This is a very horizontal pattern. Resistance at $80. This is already trending back up. On this one, I'm going to take a different approach with the EMA line. Do you see how this one doesn't necessarily bounce or hold that nicely on the EMA line? It's all over the place. This is where I would change my EMA study to get a better understanding on where to buy. And all I have to do here is I click here, click edit studies, and I go to my moving average exponential, and I can simply edit this. And I'm going to go to I did this in the Learn Plan Profit session. We have daily Q&A sessions, and I did this today in the morning when someone was asking me a question about how to set up their EMA line. And as you can see right there, it makes it a little bit more loose. It's not as tight as, you know, people might want it when it comes down to day trades. But again, I'm swing trading. I want to give it some fluctuation, and QRVO fluctuates quite a bit. So I want to make sure that I have an understanding that it's actively trending up and that I can buy it for a good price. So with that being said, since I barely say that. I'm going to set my alert when this thing goes below $70. I want to buy it at the pullback as it's trending up. And that is exactly what I plan to do. So from $70 to the resistance at $80, that potential for profit is about nearly 15%. What's my potential for loss? Well, understanding that once it breaks below the EMA line, most likely at around like 68.50 is where I would consider cutting losses. That's about a 2% potential for loss for a 15% potential for profit. The risk/reward ratio is worth it for me. If it's not for you, simply don't trade it, right? This is just my breakdown and my thought process and hope that it can guide you guys in the right direction. I'm going to wait for the pullback. I want this thing to pull back a little bit closer to the EMA line, just like it's done before. So it pushes up. That's good, but I don't want to buy there. I wait for it to pull back. As long as the EMA line continues to point up long-term on this 180-day chart, then that's when I choose to buy on the bounce, and then I can ride it back up. It peaks out. I sell right for the sell-off. I buy back in again. It pushes up. It's going to probably peak out at 72. Then it'll pull back. I can buy at 70, whatever the price might be, but that's the pattern that it's been showing, and that's why I see value in that one. Now, let's talk about the last one. This is DSLV. So this one was doing very well about 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago when we called it out at the support at about $22. It trended up all the way to $24, covered a little bit under 10% margin of profit. And do you see this consolidation that it's been doing here at around that same $22 price point? This resistance that it has at about $24. That's why you see my alert set right there. I think that this thing has the potential, so it's consolidating right now, just like it's done before. I think it has the potential when it gets and breaks above $24 and the volume really starts picking up. As long as it validates this, the EMA line. So the EMA line is still pointing down, and it was never really pointing up. It was just holding above the EMA line. So once we get a confirmation that the EMA line is pointing up, what's the margin of profit that this thing has to offer? From $24. So from $24 with the previous resistance once, twice, 3 times at $30, the potential for profit is 25%. What's my potential for loss? So if I buy in at $24 and then it starts to pull back, I'm not going to want to hold more than $23. So what's my potential for loss? My potential for loss is anywhere from around 4.39%. But again, I always go in with a smaller entry position. So once I take a smaller entry position, if it pulls back, my dollar value at risk is much less. And again, if that doesn't make sense, then I explain that in the Learn Plan Profit course. But that's my breakdown: entry, exit, stop loss. This is a higher risk/reward. I mean, the risk is much greater, but so is the reward. And that's how it is. So let's see. I'm going to answer a couple of your guys' questions. I'm going to move myself over. Let's go to the boom. Let's do it. So Jake is saying that I cut myself because I said, what is it that I always say? My roommates make fun of me all the time because I'm oh man, I was just about to say something that was going to be embarrassing. But yeah, I'm a creature of habit, right? I say things time after time. So yeah. So MGE_5 is asking, how do you learn all this? So I started when I was 14. I've been doing this nonstop, not nonstop. So I was taking time on and off, but I never gave up. Just like a lot of you with whatever it is that you're passionate about, I really saw a lot of value in investing in the stock market. I just needed to know, to identify my niche and what worked for me. So I just continuously did it. I didn't always treat it as a 100% source of income, more as a hobby. But now with my hobby, I'm doing just fine with what it is that I do. And now we have over 75,000 people that within our networking platform, and over thousands of people within our Learn Plan Profit group. So for those that are talking about DYAS and UYAS, I'm going to talk about those specific stocks tomorrow at market open. There's some news that came out that I want to touch base on when the market opens. I don't want to talk about, usually I like making these videos after the market closes and stuff like that, because I want to make sure that I have no fluctuation or kind of like effect to the stock. My following isn't that big, but I just want to make sure that there's no correlation to that. I always encourage you guys to do your own due diligence, to make sure that you guys do your own breakdown and only invest in what you understand and not based on other people's opinion. And I really hope that you guys keep that close to your heart. So, with that being said. Oh yeah, so I always say with that being said. Who said that? Oh, you punk. Arthur. But yeah, let's go ahead and say, see what you guys are saying. So top 3 Canadian pot stocks for 2018. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. What's going on, Reagan? Hello from the Philippines. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'll talk about JDST. I'll talk about all those inverse ETFs tomorrow. I just wanted to see if you guys had any questions about the video that I just made right now. So those are my top 3 callouts. For those that weren't able to tune in for the entire video, these were them. This video will repost. If you guys can do me the biggest favor, and if you guys enjoyed, how quick and easy I got straight to the point, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. For those that are just getting started and investing in the stock market, all I ask you to do is, I swear, just 1 minute, dedicate 1 minute of your night, click the first link down in the description. It's my Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library, and it is my private group. I teach you exactly step by step what has led to my success in the stock market in the approach that I just did right now. So if you find the way, again, if you find the way that I teach effective, then I would encourage you just to dedicate 1 minute of your time to click on that link and learn about, click on that video and see the different success stories, and as well as what it is that I've done in the stock market and how it is that I approach the stock market. I work with you on a daily basis in our private group. I speak to you, right, in our daily Q&A. I just saw a message. Our daily Q&A, and I answer all your questions, and then I provide a weekly watch list, just a pool of stocks that I see value in that are actively trending up, and then as well as you have access to the video lesson library for life. So if that's something that you would like to be a part of, I would encourage you, or are somewhat interested in, just click the first link. I would love to work with you on a one-on-one basis, and if you see value and you think that we can make 2018 your best year, then I hope that you guys know that I'm here to, be that catalyst and that spark of interest. So continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives you in your success. And Brax, when is the next Flipping Wheels live stream Q&A? That's for the buying and reselling of cars. That's the second link in the description if you guys want to learn how I made $24,000 or $23,000, over $23,000 for the month of November for 2017. That's the second link in the description. The live Q&A chat will be tomorrow, and I'm sorry for the change. It just came down to the holidays kind of affecting not being able to go live on Monday. But we're going to get to that live stream this week, and then we're going to do one for the next 2 weeks as well. So thank you again for asking that. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be doing a 100K giveaway. We're at 98,000 subscribers already, and yeah, so I'm super excited for this year. I can promise you that if you guys are interested in the course, or if you're already enrolled in the course, just subscribe and you are going to want to be a part of it. So you helped me to come up with my strategy. Good video with your cute girlfriend. Well, I don't have a girlfriend anymore, so thank you for bringing that up. Totally kidding, but I don't have one. Thank you guys again for everything that you guys do. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives you in your success. And like always, guys, I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and let's make sure that we, look forward to every day there's new opportunities. So let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.